Hello, welcome back to the channel. Please excuse the somewhat smarter attire than normal, but I was at, well, this being the Christmas season, I was at church service beforehand and then watched the game elsewhere. So that's why I'm not in my Steelers gear, but I am here to talk about the Steelers after their 34-11 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. A result that I'm sure surprised pretty much every single person, apart from perhaps the most, I'm not going to say deluded, but let's just say passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans out there that no one would have seen this coming. Given the way the team have been playing recently, given the form the Bengals have been on, I certainly didn't see this coming. But in my preview, I said that there was a lot of people that had questions to be answered, and they answered them. Where can we start other than George Pickens? Again, the subject of plenty of controversy and media attention this week. 4 catches, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns. Answered his critics in ways that, we all knew he was capable of, but just given the way that his attitude has been recently, you just always have the right, what sort of traction is he on? Again, somewhat annoyed that he couldn't be this previously, but it shows there is a talent there, and perhaps the fact is that the talent was brought out of him by by Mason Rudolph. It's very rare that all the talk, perhaps it was a good thing for George Pickens, or by George Pickens rather, that all the attention on him took the focus away from the fact there was a quarterback change. And Mason Rudolph did great. 17 for 27 for 290 yards and 2 touchdowns, both of them to Pickens. But given what we'd seen out of Mitchell Trubisky, we were hoping for just anything better than Mitchell Trubisky, and he played like a franchise quarterback. I don't think that's too much of a hyperbole. Again, this is only one game, but when you have a backup coming in, you want them to keep the ship steady rather. And he did exactly that. Again, whether or not this is going to be a problem for the Steelers moving forward, and is there a quarterback controversy with Kenny Pickett? That's a future discussion. That's an off-season discussion. I think for now, just taking the fact of if Kenny Pickett has to stay out another week with his injury, if Mason Rudolph has kept that starting place, he is not going back to Mitch Trubisky. And if you can play like that against the Seahawks next week, then you never know, he might be in with a chance of sneaking into the playoffs. The other thing that has sort of been developing in the past couple of weeks, in the latter half of the season rather, starting ironically with that game against the Bengals, was the run game. 30 attempts, 113 yards for 3.8 yards on average. It's not great, but when you score 2 touchdowns off the end of it, which they did, and you were able to drain the clock when you needed to, the running game did exactly what it did, as did the defense. 3 sacks and 3 interceptions, which, given how well Jake Browning has been playing in recent weeks, you wonder whether or not he's going to be able to keep that up. But we made him look like a backup quarterback. I think that's the best thing we can say. One bad play, the 80-yard touchdown at the start of the third quarter rather. One mistake. I'm not going to get too bogged down about that, especially because of the result. So that's really the summation. Again, what this means moving forward is it's hard to say. Is this just a fluke, or have they finally found something? Was there a fire lit from underneath them because of everything that's been going on? Did Mike Tomlin, he doesn't tell everyone what he does. He said in his press conference this week when he was talking about what punishment he'd be given to George Pickens or what discipline, he said he'll keep that private. He won't tell that to reporters or whatever, which you could understand. But whatever he did this week, whether it was him, whether it was someone in the leader, whoever did it, lit a fire under that group, and it worked. You just have to hope that this isn't, again, a one-game thing. This is something that can propel them forward, because we are still mathematically in with a chance of the playoffs. I think I saw NBC did a stat that our chances were at 15%. Not the greatest, but what's the line from? I think it was Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance? I think it was Dumb and Dumber. I know a Jim Carrey character said it. I haven't seen the film, but I know it's a famous meme. But yeah, if we play like that against the Seahawks, then who knows? And then if we play like that against the Ravens, depending on what situation they're in, if they're resting players or if they need to be competitive in order to get a number 1 seed or maybe even fight for the division crown or whatever, then there is a chance. I don't want to be drawn too much into it, but yeah, there is a chance we could do this if we can continue to play the way we did tonight. But again, it is only one game. We will wait to see whether or not it can be dragged out into something into more significance. I will be breaking this down further with individual videos on my TikTok tomorrow, so be sure to check out for that, which are linked in the description down below. But other than that, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and feel free to chat with me on any of the other socials, which are again down in the description. Other than that, Merry Christmas, and Rudolph delivered a win as he tends to do at Christmas. You guys take care.